welcome to the second part of episode 6 of Game Club. This is where we do the rest of the podcast, news, and other things that we care about for the week. And the topic for this week is all the revealed information and what we think about it concerning the PS4 Pro. Now, so the rumors up until the big announcement this week by Sony in the Sony conference was that there was this thing being developed called the PS4 Neo. It was going to be a slight upgrade to the PS4. We weren't sure exactly how slight, like how much it would matter and what would it bring to the table. It wasn't an all-new console generation, but more like an iteration on what's currently out. Something to possibly compete with the Xbox Scorpio, which is not an Xbox 2, but more like a Xbox 1.1, whatever you want to call it.
The Scorpio
right?
or the
Scorpio. Yeah.
Or the S?
No. I'm talking about the Scorpio here.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because the S is just this current Xbox One
Right.
with just a few little
Bigger
tweaks.
hard drive. And
Yeah.
Yeah, 4K capabilities.
Right. So we just want to sort of reflect on our impressions. I want to throw some information out there just to sort of set the conversation. So what was announced is the PS4 right now is $299. The PS4 Pro, when it comes out in October, I believe, November, excuse me, will be $399. So that's the original cost of the PS4 when it first released.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to be, it looks like, just about the same size as the original PS4 with maybe a few added dimension to it, but not that big difference. A little uglier, in my opinion, having those two cut-in lines instead of one. I thought the one looked good. The GPU, bit better, according to what they've released. They both have an AMD Radeon. The original PS4 can put out 1.84 teraflops, and the new one, the PS4 Pro, will be able to put out 4.2 teraflops.
Mm-hmm.
Both have 8-core processors from AMD. Both have 8 gigabytes of GDDR5.
No, I think the Xbox is only GDR3, isn't it?
Yes,
yeah,
you are
it
correct
is.
about that.
Yeah.
I'm talking about the old PlayStation 4
Oh, I'm sorry, I
versus
thought you were
the new.
comparing.
No, versus the new PS4 Pro. The old PlayStation came with a 500 gigabyte hard drive originally. I don't know if that upgraded, but the one I bought had a 500 gigabyte hard drive. The new PS4 Pro will have a 1 terabyte hard drive right out of the box. Both have the same HDMI optical qualities to it. The PS4 Pro uses a little bit more electricity, but who gives a crap about that? Surprisingly, unlike the Scorpio, it doesn't have what's that Super Blu-ray? The Ultra HD Blu-ray.
Yeah.
It doesn't have an Ultra HD Blu-ray.
That is very
I
drive
like
in
Super
it?
Blu-ray better. That's a better name.
Which I find kind of crazy because Blu-ray is Sony developed.
Yep.
So they would have to have known that Microsoft was putting an Ultra HD Blu-ray into their tech because
They would
Sony
have had to license it from them.
exactly.
Yep.
And why wouldn't Sony match that tit for tat?
Mm-hmm.
That's weird. I don't get that.
It's
But
basically Sony's telling us it's not worth it.
right there you go.
So that's going to hurt people that, kind of rely on their PlayStation for a media center as well. So
Right.
Yeah.
Now, there's a little bit of a confusion over the specifics here, but here's what I understand, and I could be wrong.
Mm-hmm.
So all the PS4s out there, mine, the smaller, the slim version that's coming out soon, and the PS4 Pro will have updates so that they will all be able to do 4K upscaling and HDR. Although there's been some discussion about maybe HDR might cost money for certain games, but that's kind of confusing news right now. Nobody's really quite sure what's the truth on that or not.
Let's do a quick poll real quick because I'm curious about something.
Sure.
So we got 3 middle-class gamers here, right?
Boom. Yes.
How many of us own a 4K TV?
I do not.
Neither do I.
I don't either.
Yeah. Now, I don't do so out of some kind of protest. It's just that I have a great plasma television that I bought right at the end of that. The
end of plasma.
Well, yeah. Well, what happened was plasma is a better visual tech. Your average plasma television is better than your average.
Hey, you're preaching to the choir here.
Yeah, and the competitive technologies. But for some reason they were just phasing out plasma, and so right when plasma was getting phased out, the really, really high-end plasma TVs became bottom rock price, and I bought one, and I love my plasma TV. Yeah. Eventually I'll have to replace it, and it'll probably get replaced with a 4K, whatever's good at that time.
Yeah.
Also, there's a little bit of confusion over what 4K actually means. There's some 4K televisions that are really just double the resolution.
Yeah.
And there's some 4K televisions that are actually 4 times the resolution.
But
so
it seems to me that 4K is one of the big selling points for this. For this next generation, really, because Xbox is pushing it too.
Yeah.
But I don't know that many people who have already gone out and bought a 4K TV or plan to in the next year or 2 years.
Yeah. And the thing about 4K is it's only valuable if you're a certain distance away from the television or you have a certain sized screen. I don't need, for the size of the room I'm in my home, I don't need an 80-inch television. Like I'm very close to my TV compared to some.
Yeah.
And so 4K, although it's all it is a number. It's actually not something based on my television viewing experience, it's nothing my eye can really pick up. What I can pick up though is frames per second, and Plasma does killer frames per second. And that's why I didn't ever need to feel the need to upgrade.
Yeah.
Anyway, so all of the PlayStation 4s out there will be able to upscale to 4K, and we'll be able to do HDR, although some complicated news there. Apparently the PS4 Pro, though, will have some built-in hardware for 4K. Still a little confusing about whether it's doing upscaling or if it's natively putting out 4K, because the way Sony talked about it, it makes it sound like it's supposed to be native, but somebody noted that the PS4 Pro is going to have the HDMI is still 1.4, which can't put out native 4K images.
Wow.
So there's a problem there, unless there's something Sony knows that we don't.
Right. Yeah.
Because to get real 4K, you have to do HDMI 2.0.
Okay.
Or higher. Anyway, so the question is, after all those facts and after and they put out a list of games, really solid games, and there'll be more being added to the list that will receive some kind of visual upgrade, either in frames per second or in the coloring or the lighting or in the textures of the games. But Sony has been adamant that PS4 Pro games can't have gameplay features that other PS4s don't, right? So it's not like you can...
It's 100% backwards compatibility.
Right. It can only do things that are... it can only basically do graphical upgrades, or, for example, like in multiplayer, it might be able to do like 32 players as opposed to 16, right?
Okay,
but the multiplayer modes have to be in both games, both versions of the game. So it's not going to have that. And it's also... I lost my train of thought. So here's the question. The question is this. What's your impression? Did they sell you? Did they not sell you? You owned a PS4 for like 5 minutes.
I did, yeah.
But you returned it because you're thinking about getting a PS4 Pro when it comes out. What do you think now?
Well, I do plan on buying a 4K TV soon.
Okay.
Within the year, I believe. Just because my TV that I had
kind of crap.
Yeah, it just crapped out on me. So now I have to replace it or fix the one I have, right?
And it's never worth it to fix a TV unless you can do it yourself.
Yeah, which I do plan on doing it. The part's like $40 or something.
Oh, yeah, easy. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. But anyways, I do plan on getting a new 4K TV. Depends on what I get. But the PS4, I don't know. I'm kind of up on the fence on it still. Just don't think that it's really kind of worth it for me. Just because I don't think I have enough time to play so many systems. So I think I'm just going to stick with the Xbox and PC.
You should just sell your Xbox, get a PS4.
No, I'm going to stay with the PS4 because I also use like my Xbox or PlayStation as a media center, right?
Right.
So the fact that it doesn't have that, it's kind of holding me back from buying it because I would use it.
What sort of media center are we talking about
here? To play movies, I like to buy physical copies of movies, and so I like to watch it on the TV like that, right?
Well, PS4 could do that, just not the Ultra HD.
Yeah, and
you're gonna buy Ultra HD discs.
Well, if I do get a 4K TV, of course I want to do that. You know?
That's fair.
So
it does do. To be fair to just the PS4, I'm not trying to convince you. The PS4 Pro does do 4K streaming, so like it's gonna have a native Netflix app that'll do 4K, for example.
Yeah. Exactly.
Until you get throttled by your internet service provider.
Yeah.
Pretty much, yeah. Also, I wanted to point out that games are going to have like a small icon that says PS4 Pro. And when you buy that game, you're gonna know automatically that icon or that game is gonna take advantage of the hardware for the PS4 Pro.
Right.
So when you buy games, that's gonna be pretty cool.
Yeah.
Though.
Now somebody mentioned something very interesting, which Sony never mentioned, but there's absolutely the possibility here, though, that if you get a PS4, so obviously the way Sony talked about it, the PS4 Pro is for 4K television owners, right? But somebody noted if you get a PS4 Pro and you play it on a 1080p, it'll be able to reassign all of those resources to the graphical capabilities, and it might actually run at better frame rate, and it might actually run it with the textures might pop in faster, so there won't be like mid-game pop in or anything like that.
Yeah,
if
that
that's
sounds pretty cool.
So there's actually a value in being a 1080p television owner with a PS4 Pro, because it'll actually run at the 1080p resolution at a far better efficiency instead of trying to like make it to the 4K.
Nice. Well, I guess I'm gonna wait and see what the Scorpio comes out and kind of what they reveal more. Microsoft reveals more on the Scorpio.
Well,
and
games,
based on that, I'm
games
gonna compare
aside, I can almost guarantee, and I say this as a Sony fanboy, 100% Sony fanboy. Games aside, you can guarantee that Scorpio is gonna be a better console than a PS4 Pro.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I want to see what they kind of announce down the line, and then after that, I'm gonna make my decision. I'm on the fence. I might get it, but I want to see what happens. So I'm still not 100% gonna get it.
So you're on the fence.
Yeah.
You're on the fence. Now here's well, Chris, we'll let you give your impression and your whether you are at all tempted to buy this system.
It's not enough to get me over my PlayStation 2 DRE grudge.
Okay.
And even if I didn't have that grudge, it's not enough to get me excited. Especially with, talk of new consoles from Microsoft coming. Like, why would I buy a 0.5? Because the new PlayStation, it just seems like a 0.5.
Well, so is the Scorpio. It's just a little bit better of a 0.5.
It would be like a 0.75.
Yeah, that could be. No, that's fair. Especially compared to the Xbox it's iterating on. That's kind of the weird gymnastics here, right? Because the Xbox One, as it stands, is about 1.5 teraflops. So to go to the rumored 6 teraflop Scorpio is a good leap.
Yeah.
But the thing is the current PS4 is more like 2 teraflops. And so the PS4 Pro doesn't seem like a big leap because it's only going to 4.2 teraflops. So it's not 4 times stronger. It's 2 times stronger than its previous console. But that's still a lot stronger than the Xbox One was, right? Yeah. So it's still like if you were an Xbox One owner and you decided to get a PS4 Pro, you would still see quite a big leap from there.
Yeah.
It's just that in its own environment, PlayStation environment, it's a smaller iteration than what the Xbox Scorpio is doing for the Xbox One. Does that make sense?
Yeah. And it's funny that you mentioned that because PlayStation 4 announced that they were not bringing out the PS4 Pro to compete with the Xbox. What kind of motivated them was PC, and PCs kind of put out more teraflops, which is interesting.
On that note, so Bethesda came out and said, so Bethesda for Fallout 4 and for the new Skyrim that they're re-releasing, the Xbox One will be able to do mods, and they said originally, we can't do that for this PlayStation. There was some technical reason. Yeah. Well, they recently admitted they could do it. Sony told them no.
Oh, wow.
Isn't that weird?
Yeah, that is weird.
So you're talking about, like, Sony is saying, they're giving us the lip service, the PS4 Pro is to compete with PC, and yet we're not going to do the best thing PC does, which is allow modding.
Yeah. Currently, you can do that with Fallout 4 on the Xbox One. You can get a couple of mods for it. So
yeah, and the offense here is we could be doing that on the PS4. Me, PS4 fanboy over here, I could be doing it if it wasn't for Sony saying no.
Yeah,
that's whatever.
PC Master Race.
Proving again.
Yep.
Okay. Now, moving on with the news here, more news coming from that Sony conference. They showed a video of gameplay. It's, I believe, well, no, there was a very short amount of gameplay for Mass Effect Andromeda put out earlier, but they put out a 3-minute video of Mass Effect Andromeda gameplay. Did you guys see this?
No, I didn't.
Well, you weren't missing much. Now, Chris knows, Jose knows for sure. Trust me, Jose knows quite well that I am a huge Mass Effect fan. I'm like a proselytizing fan. I try to get the whole world to play Mass Effect.
Yeah, he's still pushing me to finish, by the way.
Yeah,
I'm still on Mass Effect 2 right now.
Yeah, so I have great hopes and trust that Mass Effect Andromeda will be a great game. those 3 minutes of gameplay were the worst selection of 3 minutes to show of a game. There was no intro, there was no story, there was no arc to what they were doing. There wasn't like some kind of reasonable, okay, we're going to talk about this feature, we're going to show you us using it in this place, and then, some kind of big thing at the end, like showing off a boss or something.
Yeah.
There was none of that crap. It started stale. They were just walking around a pretty decently cool looking environment and literally just going to panels, pressing a button, making bridges, jumping to those bridges, and kind of just looking as they walked, coming to like a really short clip at the end where the characters talk about something that was nonsensical because we don't know what the story is. It seemed like I had just walked into BioWare randomly, and this is just what they happened to be playing, and they had no plans on showing it to me.
Like you just showed up at a friend's house and they had it on.
Right, and I just looked over the shoulder and I watched a super boring humdrum part of the game and walked away. Wow. That's what it felt like. I'm like, where was the planning here, guys? You guys have one of the most important, like significantly important games for video game fans, Mass Effect. I mean,
one of the biggest IPs.
One of the biggest IPs, and you're coming out to show us the first gameplay, and you show us the most boring crap I've seen. Now, some people were claiming that the graphics look too much like Dragon Age Inquisition, to which I say Dragon Age Inquisition looks awesome. And I couldn't really see it myself.
Did they recycle the assets or something?
Yeah, maybe. Something I saw there, I'm going to talk about this, I'm going to get into fan theory, is wherever they were in the game, there was sound effects happening all around, and it sounded like Reapers. Not as loud, not as like jarring, but it was some of that Reaper sound effect, that kind of that rumble they had. Yeah. So I'm wondering if part of this game is maybe we are going where the Reapers had come from.
Well, doesn't it take in the Andromeda?
Well, yeah, we're going to Andromeda. Yeah. But they haven't really, other than to say that humanity is expanding, they haven't really said why we're going to Andromeda. Cool. This news came out, though. So you can pick a male or female rider the way you could pick male or female shepherd. But in Mass Effect, there was only one shepherd, and you were picking the gender. In Andromeda, there's two riders. They're brother and sister. And you're choosing whether to play as the sister or the brother, but the other character still exists in the game.
And can you interact with that player?
They haven't said a whole lot yet. Okay. But that other character does exist in the story, in the gameplay. Nice. And the first character they revealed, apparently in their very original reveal trailer, was not one of your characters. It was actually your father, whom apparently you're looking for.
Okay, cool.
So some little tidbits there. They said that look for big news on November 7th because Mass Effect fans know that's N7 Day. It's been N7 Day for a long time. Yeah. And so the next big reveals will come on N7 Day, November 7th.
Okay, cool.
So look out for that. I'm a huge Mass Effect fan, and I fully trust it's going to be awesome. But that little gameplay trailer was not a video to make anybody excited. Yeah. You had something you want to talk about.
Oh yeah, I wanted to talk about the Xbox preview. If you guys are a member of the Xbox
I'm gonna take a break now. I'm gonna go pee, get a drink.
It's a program that you can sign up for to kind of preview some of the stuff that's going to be coming out later on in the Xbox releases. So September 6th, Xbox released a new preview program, and with this preview program, they're gonna have things like clubs where you can gamers can create a club where others can join. If you set it publicly, people can join and they can find your club on the Xbox, right? And then you can also set it to private where they can see the information for your club, and then they can request to join your club after that. So you can kind of have a little bit more control of who's there. And then finally, they have a hidden category where your club is hidden from everybody, so people can't really find it online. And then they'll request to join you as well. So I think that's a pretty cool feature, especially if you have a bunch of friends and you guys kind of like to do certain things, or you might even find people that do the same things. Like if you like hunting for achievements and, you want to get in a group with them, right? So that'd be pretty cool. And then another feature that I think is going to be pretty amazing, especially if you play games like Destiny and The Division, is LFG. So looking for group feature for that. And what this does is that you can kind of set it up where you are going to put a game, hey, I'm looking for people, however number of players you want to choose, and then you can kind of select certain things that you want people to have. So for example, if you want them to have a microphone and then, you know, no cursing, stuff like that, and you're looking for people that are very competitive, so then you can kind of put that out there and people can join you, and then it'll kind of pop up that people want to join you, and you can just accept it or decline it. So that's pretty cool, I think. And if you're an Xbox Preview Program member, that's going to be pretty amazing, right?
All right.
And then Gamerscore leaderboard, now they're going to set it to where it resets every month. So before it was every 30 days. Now it's going to be every month, and then it's going to reset the leaderboard. And if you're like me and you kind of want to see how you fare against your friends as far as Gamerscore, you can kind of do that every month and try to beat everybody in your friends list.
Trophies for life.
And then that's PlayStation. Emojis are coming to the Xbox Virtual Keyboard.
That's a huge upgrade.
I think it's pretty fun, especially if you post videos or
Just what I've been waiting for.
kind of comments, right?
Will they have the teabag emoji?
I don't know about that.
That's the only
That's pretty
emoji you
funny,
need on an Xbox controller.
Oh, damn it.
They need your mom emoji.
So anyways, I mean, if you post videos like game DVR, you know, clips of you know, kind of being lead or whatever, you can just put an emoji there, and I think that's pretty neat. So
Okay.
yeah,
all right.
that's it for that. Thank you.
Now, Jose stumbled upon this week and freaked us
Oh,
the rest of the
man.
hell out, and then it turned out to be it's not happening yet. But you ran across Super Mario Run, which was sort of announced, I guess, this week. They put it out on the advertisement for it on the iOS, and apparently it's coming to Android, but not until 2017.
Yeah. How it was revealed, the iOS was doing a keynote, and then Shigeru Miyamoto came out.
Just say Miyamoto.
Miyamoto came out, and he actually announced Super Mario Run.
He just came and was like, "Yeah, Super Mario Run, guys," and he left.
Well, no,
Whatever, bros.
Yeah. So, anyways, that's how it was revealed.
He did it like between cigarette drags. Anyway, yeah. Super Mario Run. So if you want to know what this is about, it looks a lot like New Super Mario Brothers graphically. Essentially, it looks like New Super Mario Brothers levels, with the one difference that Mario runs to the right on his own, and you tap the screen to make him jump.
Yep.
And of course, like, you can jump and then jump off a wall, so then you'd go left and jump again, and like so it gets a little more tricky than just jumping.
Which, according to Miyamoto, you can actually play with one hand and eat with the other hand if you wanted to. So
That's what he does with the other hand while he plays Mario. He eats.
yeah,
That's exactly what he does.
exactly. I guess, I don't know. But you have the option to do that if you want. So
Yeah, I mean, you can, you don't. It means that finally, I don't need to press pause to go take a dump when I'm playing Mario. It just goes with me. Get fecal matter all over my phone. Doesn't
there
matter.
you go. Yeah,
I can still play. I can still
That's
play.
gross, man.
It's true.
Yeah.
And that's coming out. I don't think they did in December 2016 with
Yeah.
Android version coming out in 2017 sometime.
Yeah.
Which I don't know why. I guess probably Apple. They probably just made a deal with Apple to be Apple first on this, which isn't a dumb business move. It's a smart business
especially
move.
considering Pokemon Go did really well. Like, I think they said they had over 500 million downloads for Pokemon Go. That's pretty crazy. And then Nintendo stock went up, and they did really well. So it looks like it's going really good for Nintendo. Plus, Super Mario Run is not the only game they're releasing. They're also releasing Fire Emblem and I forgot the name of the other one. But there's another game that's
Is
also
it Pikmin,
releasing.
maybe?
No.
No.
I can't remember the name.
What kind of game is it?
Animal Crossing. That's the
Animal
one.
Crossing.
Yeah, Animal Crossing and the other game I just mentioned, which I forgot, are coming
Fire
out by
Emblem.
March 2017. So yeah, they're also coming out for iOS.
Jose
That's
can only
pretty
have one game on the mind at once.
cool. Apparently.
You have to wipe your memory like an Atari 2600.
He doesn't have enough RAM.
Yeah.
I need to upgrade. So yeah, that's look out for that. I mean, within the next couple of months, I guess 6 months, right? Something like that.
No, December 2016. I mean,
Well, March 2017 is
for
for the other two.
Android.
For all of us.
Oh, for all the
non-iPhone.
others. I see.
Yeah,
I see.
so-
Quarter one.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I guess what they're it seems like a smart plan. I think what they're trying to do is I think they're recognizing the fact that they can't win classic gamers away. They can't take PC gamers away from PC. They can't take PlayStation gamers away from PlayStation, or Xbox gamers away from Xbox. So they're looking towards a new pool of people, which for them, which are phone gamers and giving them a good phone experience to draw them to the NX, which is another kind of handheld, right?
Is it really a new demographic though? I mean, because
for Nintendo,
for them, it's been more kind of casual, family-oriented games, right? I mean, isn't those the same kind of people that play games on iPhone and stuff like that, though, right?
Well, I don't think so. I mean, I see what you're saying, and I see the logic, but I don't think they both share a casualness to them, but I don't think they're technically the same market. I don't think Nintendo has had young players in a long time, not like a significant amount of them.
Well, all of us are now working. Those of us that grew up with the NES, SNES, right now we're working. So having this on an iOS is pretty.
But they recognize that the young gamer is on that iPhone, that iPad, those Android phones, and so if they can put Mario in front of that young gamer, and make them love that Mario run, and then they'll say, oh, there's more Mario games on this thing called the NX, which is also a handheld. It's what I'm used to. Yeah. Then they might convert people in that way.
I actually plan on using this game to introduce my daughter into gaming.
Why don't you just use an NES?
No, because this is pretty cool. All she has to do is touch it, and it'll jump automatically. So that's pretty cool. I'm going to introduce her to it. So, yeah.
All right. Well, with that, let's just go over upcoming releases and then wrap this thing up. So for those of you who are playing the PS4 and the Xbox, some releases coming up. We've mentioned BioShock Collection is just around the corner. That comes out this Tuesday when this video releases, in fact, and that's the game you should be playing. Also, the next episode of Batman, the Telltale series, is coming out, and I haven't started playing that yet. I wish I had. I just haven't had time in life to really jump into that. The game I'm looking forward to is Pac-Man Championship Edition 2. I love those Pac-Man Championship games. Those are awesome.
Nice.
And Dead Rising on the PS4. Also, new episodes of Minecraft Story Mode, which I guess is a pretty successful series for Telltale. It didn't hook me. I played the first 2 episodes and then kind of fell off that. Don't Starve Together, which is I assume a follow-up to Don't Starve, is on its way.
Maybe multiplayer one.
Yeah, and then NBA 2K17 Destiny Rise of Iron is September 20th, so that's a big one for some of you guys. And also,
which I will be playing, by the way, so look forward to that.
Also, Dear Esther comes out for the PS4 that day, which don't play it. I played it. I hated it. It didn't. Some people, for some reason, are fine with playing a completely empty game that tells a very basic story and making it seem like it's Art Deco or something like that. It's not been. You can tell that I wasn't super impressed. XCOM 2, September 27th. So I've been looking forward to playing that. Most of those games I mentioned also on the Xbox, except for PS4, but it's really for both. Yeah. You had a few on PC?
Yeah, I mean, I guess there's a good list of games that are coming out this week. The most notable ones, I would say, would be Recore, which is coming out for the Windows Universal Platform, right?
For all you people who like Mighty Number 9, all tens of you.
No, not Mighty Number 9. It was Metroid. The guys that made Metroid are making Recore.
The head guy for Mighty Number 9 is the head guy for Recore.
Oh, I didn't know that. Yeah. I thought it was the guy that made Metroid. Anyways.
It might be both.
But. And then another one that's coming out this week is BioShock the Collection, which is going to be pretty cool, I believe. And then another one that's coming out is Roller Coaster Tycoon Mega Pack. And I think someone like Chris would probably enjoy that, especially because you get to create roller coasters and stuff like that, right?
Yeah, I'll check it out.
Yeah, so let me see. And yeah, I think those are kind of like the big ones, aside from like Minecraft and Pac-Man, which he also mentioned. And then, yeah, look forward to those. Pro Evolution Soccer 2017, probably the only sports game that's out on PC since we don't get like baseball or football on that.
Yeah, KJ Inafune is the producer for Recore. I wanted to double check in case I was giving incorrect information.
Okay. Yeah. Well, thank you. Yeah.
Cool.
So that was it. Oh, also, let me double check. We have sales. Well, not really sales, but like deals. If you're a Amazon Prime person,
and why aren't you if you aren't?
Which is like me. There was a deal for The Last Guardian. If you pre-order, you can get it like a couple dollars, well, $10 to $12 cheaper. And then the other game that I wanted to talk about, the BioShock Collection, 1080p for PlayStation 4 or the Xbox One. If you're a Prime member, you can get it for $47.99 right now if you pre-ordered. So
Yeah.
If you're a
Awesome.
Prime member, check those out.
Well, with that, check us out on FNW Game Club on Twitter. Also, shoot us emails at fnwgameclub@gmail.com. Find all of our personal information down in the description. If you want to hook up with Jose, just make out with him for a while.
Or check out my
Or if you
Twitch
just
stream.
want to play video games with me.
I plan on actually streaming Destiny Rise of Iron when it comes out, so look forward to that.
Yeah. Jump on Twitch and find this bum foot over here.
Yeah.
And you can also find Chris and his information. And like I said, subscribe, and share. If you thought this was an awesome video, we'd appreciate that patronage on your part. And have a good day.
Bye.